All right, y'all, we are back with another video. So y'all already know what's going on. All right, y'all, look. Today we got Taraji P. Henson, and we're going to do a little bit more talking about channeling spirits, basically, right? Now, every time I talk about this topic, I can't help but think about that little small clip that I played in one of my recent videos with Pastor Darby, where he was talking about, how talent doesn't have anything to do with being famous. It's more about your ability to be able to be used by demonic spirits. Basically, that method acting that we talked about in Hollywood. Now, y'all remember I had a video where we kind of went into it like in depth with the whole method acting thing. Where we were talking about, I think it was Robert De Niro. We talked about Oprah. We talked about a couple of different people. It might have been in that video where the guy from Snowfall, I think his name is like Idris something. Remember the main character from Snowfall when he said he was praying to the devil in order to basically help him go in that darker place for that role? Because, he kind of had to become an entirely different person. And you could tell in the beginning of the show, in the beginning of the first season, he was kind of like this young kid stepping into this role that was eventually going to transform him into a monster, so to speak. And you can only imagine that they have to channel these spirits in order to become that, because naturally you're not that kind of person. If you aren't, if you're not that person to begin with, it's hard to become that person and actually portray it so millions of people feel who you are. And in order for them to do that, they must channel spirits and open up themselves to the spirit world and dark forces. And basically, Taraji P. Henson, she tells us that, clear as day, right out of her mouth. It's not me, trying to sum something up that's not there. She tells us right out of the horse's mouth. So with that being said, y'all, we'll jump into these clips. Someone actually sent me this, and I saw another video of somebody who was talking about it. So I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and talk about it on the channel. And yeah, man, y'all already know what's going on. So check this out.
And how to support. And especially when you're dealing with something, the subject matter can be so dark. Yeah. So there were moments on set when I was watching her, and when I knew she didn't need to stay into it, I'd go over there and make her laugh, to lighten the mood a little bit. And whenever they yelled it's a rap, I was all in her face. Yeah. So she could go home and leave Celie at home, because it's a lot when you're dealing with playing these characters, because it's very spiritual what we do as actors. You're on the set, you have your chakras all open, you're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. Mm-hmm. And so you have to learn how to flip the switch on and flip it off. Otherwise, it could drive you mad. Mm-hmm. Because it's spiritual what we do. You understand? Yeah. We allow these characters and these stories to use our bodies as a vessel. That is a real, like if you think about it, that's you allowing this other energy.
Project. I let the character speak to me. What we do as actors is very spiritual. You're on set, and that's why I don't pick a lot of roles, because it's spiritual, and I'm all alive, and I'm open, and my chakras are open, and I'm letting this character use my body as a vessel to tell its truth. And so when I'm open like that, a lot of energies can't be around me. I'm sorry, because energy is strong, y'all, and you gotta be particular about who you keep around you. Like seriously, if they down and they cloudy and they downtrodden, and if they got a cloud around you, hanging around, you think you're not gonna get wet? You gotta be very careful. So I'm very particular about the projects that I take on, because that's spirit. You understand? But
at the end of the day, for me, it was a lot of ancestry work. Blood work is what I call it, when you really have to lean on them. And there were times where, the surrendering is so deep that I felt like I just had to truly listen to the ancestors and all of their cries and their woes and everything that they've been through, so that I could honor that.
Now, that last person talking obviously wasn't Taraji P. Henson. I'm assuming it was somebody like a part of, some kind of like show interview type of thing that she was doing, giving their opinions of how they go about accepting and fully surrendering themselves. The last girl, I don't know who she was. I don't think she was really famous. I couldn't recognize her. I just didn't want to show the clip because of copyright possibly. So I covered that one. She said the surrendering becomes so deep that she feels she has to listen to the ancestors of all their cries and woes. You could tell how these people really take this stuff serious and they're not just talking. Taraji P. Henson said it 3 times that my body becomes a vessel for the spirit. She was on, those were all different interviews that she chose to basically preach the same thing over and over and over, that her chakras are open and her body is being used as a vessel. And she talked about how energy was powerful. And she said, I'm very picky on what roles I choose because that's spirit. Basically saying that you have to be picky on which spirit and demon you're going to channel for these certain roles to help you, because some of them are probably very powerful and will take you to dark places. Like, for instance, Heath Ledger, because everybody knows in that interview with Heath Ledger, I could put it up right here. It was like a little short clip where he just, sometimes he would sound like Heath Ledger, and then most of the time he sounded like that Joker character.
Could you talk about that in respect to your character?
Yes, I could. Yeah, I'm not sure who or how he.
Like, it's almost as if he surrendered himself so much that he became that demon. That demon fully possessed Heath Ledger. And that's what they talking about. That's what she talking about. She's saying that you got to watch it on how you choose to channel them and how long you choose to be in character, because it can end up being too powerful and take over your life. And I'm pretty sure possibly kill you. Now, that's why I said this was right out of her mouth. She chose on 3 separate occasions in 3 different interviews to preach the same stuff, channeling spirits. And that last girl, whoever she was, I mean, they were a part of the same little cast of crew that was talking, giving their take on how they do method acting, basically. She said she has to do blood work. And what got me was the surrendering part, on how deep they have to surrender themselves. Y'all, look, I can't even imagine like actually doing that and feeling that, like what it feels like to surrender your mind, your body, your soul to another spirit. I don't know what that feels like. I couldn't imagine it. So what these women are saying that they do in order to act out these roles, I just couldn't imagine it, because I don't get into that kind of stuff in life. I don't talk to ancestors. I don't feel that way. I talk to God and that's it. I don't feel the need to try to reach outside of what I know to be true. Like, I know all I need to talk and have a relationship with is God. I don't go searching for ancestors and other spirits. I don't know how people got caught up in that, praying to the ancestors. I just have no idea. Like, a lot of people's mind works very different, and they can easily, just believe in things like that works for them. It's simple and it works for them. It makes sense for them, So I wouldn't really try to understand why people get into it, because there's no need to, because everybody's mind works differently, and you drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why somebody believe in talking to the ancestors. How come they don't know that those spirits that are answering back aren't necessarily who you think they are? So to me, like I said, I just think that's crazy, because in my mind, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine opening myself up to it and actually feeling it how they describe. They describe feeling something taking over them. It even goes back to when Spike Lee was talking about Denzel Washington. I'll put all that in that video. I may have to find exactly what video that was and put it in the description for people that haven't seen it. But we put all this in that one video. You know, Spike Lee was talking about Denzel basically becoming Malcolm X, and he felt like when Denzel said this little speech, he said it better than Malcolm X could say it. It was basically Denzel channeling the spirit of Malcolm X in a sense to help him with that role. And that's how he was able to perfect it in the way that he did. Now, some people may look at this as like, all right, this is part of their process. This is what they do in order to be an actor. But at the end of the day, just like Taraji P. Henson said, it's very spiritual. So she knows what is going on. If you know something is spiritual and it crosses the line of the physical and spiritual realm, then you know the repercussions of it. So it's not just art. It's not just something they do to do it better. No. They pull from dark forces and they know what they're doing. Remember what I said earlier? Dude from Snowfall said he knew that he asked the devil to help him with that role. And he was having nightmares. He couldn't sleep. He was going to his mom and everything. So these people know. And I just find it crazy, you know. I just find it crazy that they actually tell you. And these are some of the people we watching on screen. We're watching spirits. I don't even know if we're watching them anymore. Some of their best roles have been led by dark forces that they channeled in order to be able to play, you know, that role to the best of their ability. And of course, Taraji P. Henson, just like them all, saluting to the one-eyed God. So yeah, man, you know, I didn't get on here to make this video too long. Like I said, I did want to talk about it because I find this stuff to be really interesting, you know, as far as the channeling spirits and method acting that goes on in Hollywood. You know, we don't talk about it too much, but I feel like when this stuff comes across, we should talk about this because it goes in hand with what we do on this channel all the time. So yeah, man, I'm not going to keep it too long, man. I'll just want to get y'all thoughts on this video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. As always, man, y'all let me know what y'all want to see on this channel in the future. Y'all could always send me stuff on Instagram. My Instagram is Black Balloon, the same as my YouTube name. And of course, throughout the comments, I'll be checking them. So with that being said, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm out.